This episode contains segments that may be unsuitable for some audiences. For your convenience, these segments have been identified in the timestamps within the video description.
I'm gonna let you start off because you got some good stuff to get off.
Yeah, I got some good stuff to get off real quick. Fly, Eagles, fly. The 1-2 victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles, Eagles.
Welcome to Concrete Cactus episode Dose.
With the tropes.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Ryan.
And this week, we're going to talk about
a lot of things.
But let's jump into it. Let's talk about DEI. Don't tell me you have a written statement for this too.
Donald J. Trump, the 45th president of the United States, who's also the man who beat Vince McMahon in a hair versus hair match at WrestleMania. I'm just life is discretionary. And I wish people understood that. The majority of us have really got too comfortable with being comfortable. That comfortability comes, well, some level of ignorance. The ignorance in DEI was when a lot of the companies that did DEI were disingenuous with it, and they made it more than what it should have been. It should have been bringing in diverse talent. I'm just talking about age, gender, none of that. It's different cultures, different personalities, which is why a company like Costco, I felt they did DEI right because their intentions wasn't to pander to a race or to a orientation. Their strategy was more towards bringing small businesses into the big box, bringing more creativity and new ways to enhance the shopper's experience. I think we should all slow down as a culture and really think about the pros and cons of things before they go overboard.
I think Costco is actually embodying what DEI is supposed to be, which is representing different ethnicities, genders, disabilities, or different psychological or social backgrounds. Diverse groups need different support systems than others. Other companies taking it out of context and just using it to advance an agenda for just diversity in their hiring pools, or just like giving it to people who don't necessarily deserve to be in a position, but they're giving it to them because it makes it diverse, or it gives them like a better look.
All these resources and all this technology, and all running around here like a soup sandwich.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man.
Big news.
Big news.
Let's talk about dirtiest cities in the U.S.
That list.
You had to take a guess. Do you think there's a city in Arizona that ranks on the top 10?
Mesa, Glendale,
Keep shooting.
Tolleson.
Nope.
Tucson.
I'll give you middle of the list, number 6. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona.
That's
yes, sir.
Insane.
Take a guess if Jersey's on this list. Top 10.
Camden?
You're pretty close though.
Wildwood during high school prom season?
Surprisingly not.
Bayway.
Go north. Go north real quick.
Nah.
Easy.
No. Irvington.
Close. Newark, New Jersey is number 4 on dirtiest U.S. cities list.
What?
And remember you said Camden?
Yeah.
Very close by. Trenton is number 7, right behind Phoenix. So not only are we dirty in politics, we're dirty as in trash. Well, we're not. I'm not in Newark anymore. I don't think it was that bad.
This is a cap. I'll tell you right now.
New York's not on this top 10, by the way.
They don't need to be on that top 10. I mean, they're all right. Mayor Meme's doing his job to a degree.
They don't look like it.
You know, he's doing his job, all right. He's doing his job trying to get that pardon for the embezzlement scandal, whatever.
Yeah, man.
There's more homeless people within downtown Phoenix and the Capitol complex in that 1 mile radius of that area of Phoenix than I've seen homeless people in the city of Newark. Like, North Penn Station used to be like a homeless shelter for homeless folks way back when. We counted five.
Newark Penn Station was like ground zero for zombies.
Yo, I can walk 4 blocks, and I live in a decent neighborhood. 4 blocks down, I'll see like a line of homeless folk, just homeless people in Scottsdale. The bougiest part of Arizona. Trust me, they're not been documented. Whoever the hell made this list had the nerve to put Newark and Trenton on that list.
And it's literally just waste management.
And speaking of waste management, at this time every year, we have a tournament named after a trash company.
That's actually weird.
This city is so dirty. There's a segment that runs on the news about the dirtiest restaurants in the city. Like, the press, that has to be the food inspectors out here. Some 12th grader in Florida made this list. Education system better than New Jersey, my ass.
Word. And since we're talking about, East Coast dirty cities, guess who just went 5 days no shooting? First time in 30 years.
New York.
Your man's Mayor Mean.
Mayor Mean pulled that off?
Yeah, man. First time in 30 years. 5 days, no shootings.
30 years. I would have thought that, like, they went a week without crime after 9/11. That is ludicrous.
Now, take a guess how long it took for a shooting to happen after it was announced. Because New York gonna be petty.
12 minutes.
5 minutes after it was announced, there was 2 shootings. Both people, ironically, were shot in the legs.
Yeah, they think that the SpongeBob, Maya.
One in Brooklyn and one in the Bronx.
Sounds about right.
Not really surprised. Since 2022, they've pulled 1,400 ghost guns off the streets, and I think 20,000 total. So your man's is doing something. Incidents are down 25.6%, down from 39 last year.
He's not a Republican, but he's sure as hell not a Democrat.
He's a purple politician.
I guess the elephant in the room right now is all the aviation situations that's been happening the last couple days. DC, a Black Hawk collided with a passenger aircraft, killed 67 people. Now in Philadelphia, a plane carrying a young child who had just recently been discharged from a children's hospital went down in like North Philly.
That was crazy.
That was insane. Which brings us to what? Hot takes and cold subs? I got something interesting to talk about with aviation concerning Arizona.
Let's hear it.
Delta United flights nearly collide over Phoenix. No alarms, no surprises. A certain airport that happens to be the biggest airport in town has this real unique schematic where you have 2 parallel runways. It looks like planes low-key racing to like land or to take off. So here's what happened. The planes were within 425 feet vertically and less than a quarter mile horizontally. Planes were cleared to land on the parallel runways. Air traffic control, as they should, issued corrective instructions. The National Transportation Safety Board found that the air traffic controller had an incorrect assessment of heavy fog. This prevented a major disaster that would have probably exceeded the gnarliness of Tenderfly or other aviation crashes that were insane. There was one that happened like some odd years ago in California, a small plane and another airplane, which, by the way, interesting thing about that aircraft in DC, it was operated under American Airlines by a subsidiary of American Airlines called PSA or something like that.
I think it's PAS.
PSA Airlines.
PSA.
That's why I bring this up, because, make a long story short, PSA was purchased by U.S. Airways at one point, and then when U.S. Airways was purchased by American absorbed the PSA name, and then I guess PSA rebranded to be a smaller airline, Charlie Airlines. So it's like ironic.
It's real ironic, man.
That's as ironic as having an aviation disaster 2 months to the day after 9/11.
Yo, how long has it been? What are we?
23 years.
It's crazy.
Out back in like the East Coast, Jersey, New York, for like our entire adolescence, it was always something happening with planes, yo. We don't remember CWA because we were like 3 years old. We were 7 on 9/11. Well, I was 7, he was 6. And then they had the Miracle on the Hudson, and then you had that Yankees player who flew a plane into a building like somehow.
Yeah. And I never really noticed it until after.
Right?
Maybe it's been something with planes ever, like, it never ended. There's always been something.
Anyway, what's going on back out there concerning certain transportation.
We're not talking congestion prices this time. We're talking about MTA.
Ooh, going your way.
Yes, sir. So we got 3 masked men took the R train on a joyride through New York City. And apparently this isn't the first time this has happened.
When was the last time it happened? During de Blasio?
In September, 2 teams tried to operate an unoccupied train in Queens, ended up crashing it, damaging the car. They were charged with reckless endangerment, criminal mischief, and there were no injuries. Then in January of last year, the R train again was taken from Forest Hill 71st Ave station and driven onto the train storage tracks. No one was injured. Something's going on with the R train, clearly. The train doors were locked, so someone had to have the transit keys to get in.
That bought off of eBay?
I don't know, but they knew where everything was. They knew how everything worked. They knew about how to use the throttle.
I guess a camera caught this.
The cameras did catch it, but they knew where the camera was and they blacked it out with a marker.
Yo, this is not safe. Cameras and the keys and this and that. I mean,
yeah, they got to do a better job of locking these trains up.
The wrong person, the wrong group of people can cause some trouble with that.
Yeah. It's not like you're stealing a car, you're stealing trains. I mean, you're underground.
You can do some wild with that.
You can do some real damage. We got a lot to say about New York. Let's talk about ASAP Rocky, potentially going to jail for 24 years. Well, not jail, prison. If you haven't been following, you know, Rocky's facing 2 felony charges for allegedly firing a gun at ASAP Rocky, former crew member, back in 2021. If he's convicted, he's looking up to 24 years instead of 180 jail time that they've offered him a plea deal. And that's some serious time.
Yeah, man. Rihanna pulling up to the courtroom, being by his side, even though the judge is like, are they? You seen that video?
Girlfriend is what? How am I? Is this common law wife you're on? There's Costco together. So all right.
So I should carry your as common law like?
Or just wife.
I think if they're not legally married, you prefer that she not be referred to as his wife and that she's just referred to as a significant other or a mother of his children.
Well, baby, you don't marry name her?
I don't know.
He married.
Yeah.
Common law wife.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's crazy because they had to ask the jurors if they knew her more than they knew Rocky. That's some real power right there.
That part is, I'm sure they said yes.
But how much do you think that plays a role into like how he gets judged, you know? I mean, like legally it shouldn't matter, but public perception is a real thing. Like if people like Rihanna and they know ASAP is with Rihanna, I don't know.
They had 2 kids together. I mean, it don't got to be a common law sort of husband and wife situation. But this isn't just about his career. Like, this is about his family. I mean,
Yeah.
if there's any room for leniency, her presence might make you think twice about throwing the book at him. You know, she's an established artist. And at the end of the day, it's all about what evidence they got.
I mean, from what we're hearing, they're saying like Relly has, like he claims there's surveillance footage of Rocky, but they're saying he never pulled a trigger. There's no evidence of him ever pulling a trigger. So it's like one of those like, who do you really believe?
Yeah, it's about to be one of the biggest hip hop court situations of the year, man. Boy, do I wish Bruce Rivers was around to cover this.
You said Bruce who?
Bruce Rivers. He makes these videos about like court cases. It'll be like hip hop and like how people be self-snitching and like snitching on themselves. And he used to make these videos with his son, but then his son just recently passed away. So he hasn't been posting anything on YouTube since like October, November.
Oh yeah, I've seen this guy before. But yeah, man, make sure y'all hit that subscribe and that like so y'all can keep the updates on what's going on with ASAP. Stay locked in, for real.
In other areas of the news, pedestrian has died after being struck by a car while trying to cross Interstate 10 in Tempe.
What's Interstate 10? Is that an actual, like
That's I-10. Like, you know that the underpass in Phoenix, in downtown Phoenix? Like, that's Interstate 10. Like, that takes you all the way to like California, basically. And then it goes down south and turns down to Tempe. And then that takes you all the way down to like Tucson.
Why was somebody trying to cross that?
Fucking goofies.
Crazy to try and run across.
Yeah. He was struck by multiple vehicles. This isn't like Route 22. There's no crosswalks on this.
I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because this has got to be like the dumbest thing to try and do.
The Broadway curve section of I-10 in Tempe, where this happened, 12 lanes wide. Poor dude. That's all I got for Arizona. In this segment, to say the least.
It's time to get into some purple politics. You want to read your disclaimer?
If it's necessary, it's necessary. If it's necessary, it's necessary. What you got going on in Jersey?
Hold on real quick.
Let me guess. You about to talk about that dude who had the sex scandal a couple of years back.
Was it a sex scandal? Who are you talking about? McReevy?
No, not that sex scandal. The sex scandal. The one where bro was like accepting bribes and going to DR and shacking up with underage women.
Was that one? That was one of his previous names, right?
Transgressions, for say.
Bobby Gold Bars. Bob Menendez. So this is one of the wildest corruption cases in recent history. The man just got hit with 11 years in prison for accepting bribes, including gold bars. Nearly $500,000 in cash was hidden in his home. This dude was out here living like cartel mob, like boss. Crazy. Representing the people of New Jersey at the same time.
I mean, Pill Murphy, your boy Pill Murphy is hiding a undocumented immigrant in a room above his garage.
That's not crazy.
This guy was out here wheeling and dealing, taking bribes from businessmen and acting as a foreign agent for Egypt. Yo, this guy be on some side quests, man. I'm glad you guys got Andy Kim in office, man. He accepted gold bars, luxury cars, and mortgage payments in exchange for political favors. He used his position to help businessmen get government deals and allegedly gave Egypt classified.
Yeah, man. They found nearly $500K in cash. It was stuffed in jackets, closets, and safes around the house. Some of them even in envelopes with his name on it. Like, bro didn't even try and keep it discreet.
This guy gave Egypt classified intel. Man, that type of shit makes the politics out here look tame. Like, I mean, we had Kristen Cinema. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, meanwhile, he's taking bribes from foreign countries. I mean, let's be real, like the average person, stole a few $1 million, worked with a foreign country, and then got caught with gold bars and all of this cash in the crib. Like, you would never hear from them again. But Menendez, I don't know, in 11 years, bro, like if you really think about it, is that really enough time?
Yeah, I don't know, but I know one thing's for certain. He's not getting pardoned by anybody anytime soon.
At the end of the day, Menendez, he's been dirty for decades, clearly. And it's finally catching up to him. So
It's that line, man. Yo, you heard what the White House said about them Johns in the sky you had a couple months ago?
Briefly, I kind of got a little into it, but I know it was FAA approved, apparently. And it was some kind of research, if I'm not mistaken.
DARPA. I had DARPA all over it.
Crazy.
I knew from the minute I saw that, DARPA. Ain't nobody saying shit. Ain't no F-35s being scattered in the sky. Ain't no Fort Dix, Joint McGuire, Lakehurst lockdowns. Ain't no National Guard. It was all for play. Everybody knew their role in the government. I wonder if Joe Biden knew, though.
He had to, man, or maybe he just didn't understand.
Oh, like little DJI? My grandkids play with those. What we got here? Arizona. Arizona's also trying to push a bill up that makes pornography websites verify user ages, which I thought maybe common sense would have told you to do such a thing, right? No.
That sounds very much like common sense. Like it should have been in there from the jump.
Yeah, it's almost like washing your hands before you eat type thing. Representative Nick Crupper, a father of four, introduced HB 2112, which the House Judiciary Committee advanced in a party line vote. Why is there a party line vote for this shit? Everybody should be on this. Just be unanimous. This bill will require websites where more than 1/3 of its content is pornographic. 1/3 of its content is pornographic. So, like, I see what they mean. So that means like Tumblr basically would have to put up a verification method or something like that.
Wait. I'm interested in seeing what kind of sites because, I mean, there's certain things you could get off on Instagram. There's certain things you could get off on X.
That's why I got that 1/3. That 1/3 was like,
It's maybe just attacking how close social media is getting to becoming like porn sites.
Facts. The verification can be through a digital ID or other commercial method as long as they don't store or transmit identifying data. If you're making money off this content, you have a responsibility to ensure kids can't get into it. So it's the content of the law isn't really clear because then they're saying 1/3, which could be anything. But then they're also saying if you're making money off this content, like, there multiple other states have passed similar legislation, although not without facing lawsuits, arguing that the requirements violate these speech rights ensured by the First Amendment. Wow. Free speech. We are gifted free speech through the First Amendment. But to what degree? Like, how far does it go? Isn't there like a level of discretion or responsibility or moderation that we can all come together with establishing without perverting the First Amendment? The founding fathers, they're not even rolling in their graves no more. They're like it's like that spinning cat on the internet, like they're like that in their graves. The adult site Pornhub has been blocking access in states where the age verification law is in effect, citing technical and privacy hurdles like VPNs don't exist, bro.
Well, not for kids. Well, nowadays, yeah.
There needs more context on this because this is a little confusing.
Well, I think we're really gonna have to stay on top of this. We're gonna check back on this.
Yeah, we'll keep you abreast.
What is it? Bikini? What is this place? Bikini Grounds?
Are you talking about Bikini Beans Coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bikini Beans Coffee.
That's not who sponsored today's episode. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Wow, I'd rather take Raytheon money than. Wow, why did I say that? That shit would have been funny if I was like liberal. I got an update about that story, believe it or not.
What's up?
There's Goonicide activists now roaming around the valley.
This is really
pulling up
to a word, huh?
Specifically to that Bikini Beans Coffee and either holding candlelight vigils, protesting, or according to a video that I found on the internet the other day, pulling up in short shorts, cameras pointed at the window with a little sign saying, "You killed him! You killed him! You killed him!" These kids out here got a lot of free time, man. Anyway, yeah, that's your
Purple politics.
That's your purple politics.
Ready to get into some prickly passes?
So my adopted team, long story, has made the Super Bowl for the second time in the last 3 years, going against Kermit the Frog, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and these cats are going for a three-peat. But these Philly boys are hungry. Like they've been playing. I'm not gonna say lights out the entire season, but they've been playing for purpose. You know, they haven't fumbled, no pun intended, as much as they did last season. The coach, I mean, he had his little iffy biffies early in the season and whatnot, but I mean, kind of sort of eyeing them out a little bit. Big Dom had to be initiated a lot less this season. It's a smooth sailing team. They rebuilt the defense from the ground up from 2023. They acquired literally the greatest running back in recent history in Saquon Barkley. They have the exciting whites, the blackest dude in Philadelphia, and Cooper DeJean. Not Dijon. They also have a guy who killed a couple people in a car accident. Yeah, man, but I need these birds, man. Love and hate them, man. A lot of people don't want to see that three-peat. Although I do have a conspiracy theory that involves no other than Jason Kelce. He said he's cheering for his old team.
Oh yeah, I heard this.
But he loves his brother. I thank him for supporting his teams for show. Why did he leave last season? Was it because of the coach? Was it because of management? I don't know. Bro showed up training camp throughout the entire season, showing up at practice while he's working for Amazon and ESPN, Wave Sports, and Wondery. While he's doing all that, right? Ain't no collusion. Ain't nothing to worry about there, right? Cool, whatever. Cool. I have an itch that he knows some things. He knows some things that the Eagles been doing throughout the season that he may have been tipping off his brother.
You think so?
You know who his first coach was when he joined the NFL? Andy Reid. Andy Reid drafted him. You know who he told to draft Travis? Because he was always looking out for Travis, because Travis would always be in trouble in college. Andy Reid. Maybe he just owes one to Andy Reid. Again, you know? If the Philadelphia Eagles lose in very suspicious fashion, which I don't think they're going to lose at all, one of two things. You damn refs or Jason fighting his feelings, because you know he's a teddy bear. He's loyal to his brother. But who's the loyalty fall on this time around? His old team or his brother's team? Wait, are we even allowed to say Super Bowl? You know, some people, they can't say Super Bowl. They say like
Super Bowl.
Anyway, off of that. Suns news. A lot of trade stuff going on right now. Give all that trade stuff because we all, like by the time this drops, who knows? KD might be like a Maverick for all I know, or Isaiah Thomas is on another NBA team. Bradley Beal has been getting a lot of smoke from the fans, and the smoke has hit a fever pitch the other day at a Suns game where Bradley Beal's wife, which by the way, I know some people who personally know her, really nice lady. I think she's like a youth soccer coach or something like that. Anyway, she was at one of the games the other day, and there was a fan who was heckling Bradley Beal, as he should. It was reported that his son was brought to tears after a fan shouted, "Trade that bum-ass bitch Beal for Butler," causing his son to cry. No. Yeah, this really happened. And you know what? As much as I'm not fond of Beal's performance on the court, he's a really good man. He's a God-fearing man. He's a great husband. But when it comes to kids, I understand exactly what she did, because a lot of people, she's catching smoke because they're like, "Oh, you got all the money, go to the Skybox." Oh, yeah. No, it's like, bro, there was a kid involved. Bradley Beal, when he was pressed about it, he said his wife was pretty calm about it, but then his son is right there, and she wasn't going for any of that, as they shouldn't. Like she posted something on social media talking about security had to intervene, or she was going to. Athletes are human; they have families. Be a fan, but keep it respectful, keep it real. Most of y'all talking crazy behind a keyboard and not in somebody's face would be the first to ask for a picture outside. And she has a point, but at the same time, people are gonna talk. I don't have a problem with the fan heckling Beal, saying whatever he said to Beal. The problem is that, it comes a point to where like situational awareness comes in. I'm pretty sure somebody told him, like, "Hey, that's his kids right there, bro. You want to like take that somewhere else," type shit. A boundary line that is invisible, but it's still seen, that people tend to cross, and they cross it without understanding that there's repercussions or consequences for that, whether they were consequences that are internal in the form of karma, or physical, like getting decked in the mouth by somebody's mother. Like, when we crack about people on here, like, we're laughing with them to a degree. Very rarely we're laughing at them, And even if we're laughing at them, it's not in a way that's disparaging them, like they'll never be somebody in the future, they'll never grow out of what they're dealing with. But some of these people out here got some real hatred for Bradley Beal, right? I'm gonna keep it like that. He makes more than me. He's more talented than me. He just doesn't fit well with the Suns right now, or at all. They got him playing different positions. Like, they got to put some different people around Book.
Yeah. There's a time and place, bro, for real. Even if you want to leave comments online, that's different than yelling at someone and someone's wife and their kids.
Now, she made a good point about like the keyboard warriors and shit. A lot of these people that are chirping on the internet, I noticed a couple things about them. They have no profile photo. Their profile's on private. They're usually speaking for somebody who actually did something with them lives. You gotta reevaluate yourself. Yo, Brittany Griner got traded.
I saw that.
She's going to whatchamacallit?
I think she's going to Atlanta.
Is it Atlanta?
I think she's going to Atlanta.
Why did I say Chicago? Diana Taurasi. Is she gonna retire this season or not? it's looking like she's gonna retire with all these pieces coming away from her, man. I'm just saying.
I guess we're gonna see. Oh yeah, since we were talking about basketball, VC just got his jersey retired with the Nets. His seventh jersey retirement in Nets history.
Second
I was-
for Vince Carter.
Yeah, right. I wonder if he could get another one. I don't know where it would go.
Didn't you
Matt?
go?
I did go actually.
You know that man.
Atmosphere was actually really great. It was really great. But yeah, had a good time. He actually, there was a couple chants from fans telling him to dunk one more time. And he acknowledged it and was like, wrong shoes on. And then he's like, well, if I got a size 16 in the back and look towards the bench, the Nets bench. And he's like, nah, I'm just joking. But yeah, it was a good night. I got a lot of memories of Vince Carter shooting threes and dunking and jersey.
Yo, a lot of people don't. Yo, a lot of these whippersnappers don't. Yo, the Nets were a problem in the early 2000s, but when they were still playing for Jersey. You had Jason Kidd, you had Vince Carter, you had Richard Jefferson. What was it? What's the other guy?
Well, that's before.
Kmart. I think you had Kenyon Martin. No, actually, Kmart came out a little later, huh?
No. Kmart was there before Vince Carter.
True. They had
That's when we did the tighter ones.
back to back, losing back to back.
Yeah, to the Lakers, of course.
Lakers and Spurs, right?
I think we lost 4-2 one time, and then the other one was a sweep, I think.
Crazy, because that year was a year for New York sports teams to basically blow up and lock in, because certain things happened.
Nets got swept 4-0.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2003, it was the Spurs.
Yep.
And we lost 4-2.
Mm-hmm. What could have been? Remember he was at the last Nets game in New Jersey history?
Yeah.
Did he do that thing? Did he do the meme where he was like,
Did he do that? I don't think so. No.
no, I think he did it to his kid. I think he was doing a press conference and his kid pulled up to him. He was like, and the kid like waddled away and shit.
I know what you're talking about. But yeah, Mero, other than that, Nets are still tanking. They actually lost that game. The Knickerbockers are doing their thing still. Let's talk about the chess.
Yeah, y'all about to restructure y'all team, man. I mean,
New head coach, Aaron Thorne.
yep. DEI done right. All those black people on TK.
Yeah, Will hired he, but right now the staff is split down the middle. Well, including him, there's 4 black coaches and 3 white coaches in total, including Aaron Glenn.
That Woody's way of telling Trump to kick rocks because he didn't give him a ambassador position in this administration.
I don't know.
And that's why I felt like good old Woody did here. Nah, jokes aside, it's good that you guys are restructuring that team. You guys have been the last time you guys had some glory days. Some glory days was Mark Sanchez, man. It's about 2008. We was about to have a New York Super Bowl, but
Yeah.
the damn Patriots. I really wanted to see a New York Super Bowl. I wanted to see a New York World Series this season, but it was not happening.
Not close.
It wasn't happening.
2 games close.
Hey, this year might be y'all year, man. You got Soto and shit, so y'all will make it happen.
Oh, see, though, the thing about New York sports, you never put your eggs all in the basket, bro. You just gotta watch it play out. Don't get too excited, and then you just hope for the best.
I say we wrap this up.
What you want to close with?
A new segment we would like to call Smoke This Nut. I'm kidding. We respond to some of your comments. This episode's comment comes from our short form that we did for the Goonicide. And that comment reads, bro, you guys 100% missed big time. Pretty much arguing, saying what this man did would land him on the sex offenders list. So it seemed like you guys would defend sex offenders.
That's insane.
100%?
Let's dissect this comment, because you can't say you missed 100% and then say pretty much, because pretty much implies that it's not 100% anymore.
Cleaning stuff, 99.9% of bacteria. There's 0.1% that it doesn't get rid of.
Yeah.
So how is something 100% missed? Maybe
I mean, let's put it this way. I think everyone's entitled to their own opinions. That's what the purpose of social media is for. Now, for someone to come on here and say, like, from what they took us saying in the video is that we would defend sex offenders, maybe they should go back and rewatch the video, because we addressed both sides of the situation and talked about how he was wrong. Mans was wrong. However, two wrongs don't make a right. Like you don't go ahead and post something that you think that it's okay just because.
Or he took a
subject to it.
counselor. Because remember, they had his plates, they had his face. All they had to do was call the police, give the evidence to the police, and then if the police wanted to put that out to the press, let them put it out to the press. People just do more than what they need to do, and it's unfortunate because then, like, it goes back to what I was saying before, like how we have become a society that is hard to balance.
We basically stood middle ground and told you both sides of this situation, and then told you that it escalated by her posting it online.
It's something I see every day, and I wish I saw a lot less of. And it's people not thinking of substance. I'm not thinking full circle about a situation. If this goofy was in this guy's shoes,
Right. Let's say it was his son that was in this drive-through, and it was his son that exposed himself in public. Would you want there to be something circulating the internet with his personal information? Once it's on the internet, it's never going anywhere.
that shit forever. That video's been memed into oblivion. Like,
Bro is everywhere. I'm sure if it was reversed for this woman who posted it online, she would not want it to be posted. Knowing even if she did something wrong.
correct.
Even if we still arguing the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech. I mean, true. It's freedom of speech. We have these freedoms and these rights, but to what degree are we going to use them to do? What degree are we using them for? I mean, it might be a moral crime. In this case, it actually might be criminal.
Time will tell.
We did put an opinion on the story, but then our opinion was pretty well-mannered, and I would understand somebody in their right mind would see where we're coming from with that. Like, okay, this man, he was going in inappropriate. We can throw him in jail. We could put him in sex offender registry, but other than repercussions, I mean, what else can be done to prevent this from happening again, or to really drive the point home that this is inappropriate? Believe it or not, I think it has statistics that I was like sitting on a toilet and researching the other day.
Saying on a toilet.
Yeah. Here we go. Rehabilitation programs have been shown to significantly reduce recidivism rates among various offender groups, including those convicted for serious crimes. Inmates who participate in educational programs have a 43% lower odds of returning to prison compared to those who don't. Every dollar invested in prison education saves $4 to $5 in reincarnation costs. We should have the mindset of correcting behavior, not just disciplining behavior, but correcting it. Because, you know, there's always a cause for why things happen, you know. This is not an excuse, but it's a idea of why it happens and what to do about it. At the end of the day, we provide context. There might be a little bit of opinion of it. We're not going to stretch it, say anything about the pocket. We're not going to clarify every single damn comment we get. But at the same time, you just got to, like, use logic and common sense to connect the dots a little bit, you know, like, two guys raised by God-fearing women. They bleep shit out because they want people of all different DEIs. There's no malicious intent or ill will here. Like, take that in consideration the next time you decide to comment on our content, less anybody's content, because they can mean well. The minute they say something that's a little bit out of pocket, might want to run that back and maybe ask for clarification. But yeah, I'm gonna let you wrap this up.
Yeah, man. From the concrete.
Express yourself without being a keyboard warrior. Go birds to the cactus.
Later.
Stay warm.